But you do bus drivers. That's right. You do the bus drivers, blah, 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 blah. And then you press it, obviously, because that's going to get the movement. And then you finish not with front raises as you would, but you kind of grab the bottom of the weight. So everybody here, thank you for joining me. As always, I hope you're kicking ass in the gym. And there is a conversation going on around about your shoulder workout. That's right. It's your shoulder workout. And you didn't even know. As is always the way somehow in 2022, fitness has gone through some very strange periods. YouTube fitness became all the thing. Now it's TikTok fitness. Now 9 times out of 10, a lot of the things you hear on TikTok are absolutely nonsense, from dry scooping to whatever else they're doing on there. Just a bunch of weird exercises they've made up. They've decided the bench press isn't good enough, so we've got to do it with a car. You're like, well, that's very impressive, I suppose. But you are also putting yourself at risk. And this comes down to what now a bunch of personal trainers are saying on there when it comes to your front deltoid. Now, this has actually been a conversation in the fitness world for some time. And I know this because on my Instagram, cheap plug at Simon316, I do get the odd message, I suppose, when people see videos like this, saying, should I be working my front delt? Should I be working my front delt? Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do about my front delt. Now, here is the theory, the science, the story behind all of this. The reason you may, on any kind of social media or internet device, hear people saying that you shouldn't train your front delt is because it takes a pasting all of the time.
Most people just don't need to do front raises. Here's why. If you look at most guys, usually their front delts are really, really big, and then their side and rear delts are like non-existent.
Seriously, when you're doing bench pressing, your front delt's going, oh my gosh, I've got to do all of this stuff. Even when you are doing bicep curls, right? If you're doing bicep curls correctly and you're locking in your elbows, your front delts kick in to try and stabilize what you're doing. And there are a ton of other exercises. So in short, if you are doing push-pull legs, rest push-pull legs, my favorite workout routine that I always talk about, it is safe to say that if you are doing the exercise that most people would, bench press, and maybe some kind of incline press, maybe some kind of dumbbell press, and maybe some kind of shoulder press, etc., your front delt is getting enough activity to the point that if all of a sudden you have a normal shoulder day and you go after that front delt, maybe you're overloading it, maybe you're giving it too much effort, and maybe you are running the risk of injury.
That's because a lot of guys like to press. They like to bench press, they like to shoulder press. Those are like the show muscles when you're working out in the gym. Instead, you need to start focusing on your side and rear delt.
Now this is the part that I think is more important to focus on, because can you really train a muscle too much if you're being smart and safe? I mean, of course you can. There is such a thing as overtraining. But I don't think you should give up doing front delt training if it's an exercise you like, or you are seeing gains and you are seeing evolution from it. Then absolutely, if you're progressing, never change what you're doing. That's all the gym is, about being better than you were last week, being better than you were the day before, the session before. So as long as you keep putting up the numbers, do whatever the hell you want to do. However, if you are someone that is prone to injury, especially in the shoulder region, you can probably just get rid of it and you'll be okay, because not enough people talk about the fact the rotator cuff is just a piece of crap. Like, it really is. Put your hands up now if you've been training for a long time. Seriously, be weird and do it along at home with me. Put your hands up if you've been going to the gym for a long time. Keep your hand raised if you've had any kind of shoulder trouble along that journey. And if anybody has put their hand down, I don't want to be that guy, but it's round the corner. Because the shoulder, like I say, is such a complex joint, especially when it comes to the rotator cuff. All it takes is something to go a little bit wrong and it falls apart. Now, the one that most people screw up is the subscapularis. No, the supraspinatus. I wrecked my subscapularis. The doctor's like, how did you do that? Because again, the gym is just dangerous when it does come to your shoulders. So if you can get away with not doing this, you probably should. This, of course, brings up the question, okay, what if I'm doing more of a bro split? So I'm doing chest and tris, I'm doing back and bris, I'm doing arms, I'm doing legs, and then I'm doing shoulders. Well, just be a bit smarter with the front delt. Don't train it straight away. Do more well-rounded exercises to begin with. And when you do get into your specific front delt training, maybe you can go a little bit lighter. Maybe you can go a little bit slower. Maybe just really, really focus on form and range of motion and doing negative reps. And that way, you're not putting it under too much stress.
So start doing some more lateral raises, make sure you're hitting those rear delts, and work on the overall shoulder, not just the front delt. Like and follow for more.
So you are going to see this. You are going to see it a lot, and it comes from fitness professionals that do know what they're talking about, and I'm sure some crazy people that don't know what they're talking about. But I think the best way I saw it written down, and hopefully what I just said there, but I'll try and put it into a headline, is just don't make it a high priority. Like, of course, it's completely different if you're not doing these other exercises that I've mentioned. And again, you can do a quick Google to get this kind of information. That changes everything completely. But if you are approaching it I mean, look at your body sometimes. Like, I know it's difficult to see sort of the different heads in your deltoid, but just try and look at them as best possible. I know we all want cap delts and we all want to look like that guy, but you ain't going to be doing anything if you're injured. And again, because I do the push-pull legs routine, I rarely ever hit my front delt specifically. In fact, if I was going to do a push day today, which I haven't done for ages now because my stupid broken hand, my word, I'm missing it, I would probably do something like, I'm trying to think now, but like I do a bench press, and then maybe I would do some form of incline, maybe with dumbbells. Then maybe I would do some kind of cable fly. I would do some dips. I would do some generic shoulder presses. I'd absolutely do some lateral raises. And then I'd actually work my rear delt, and then I'd move on to triceps. Because I'm, again, kind of confident that all that benching and pressing that I have done and the back and arm work that I will do the next day, well, not really back work, but arm work, as we've already talked about, would take care of my front delt. But always remember, when you hear these things, from me included, they're not specific to you. They are just general terms with people looking at the data. But if you've got a personal trainer, for example, and they said to you, actually looking at you from a, with more of a critical eye, because it's so hard to look at yourself with a proper critical eye, we actually need to work on that front deltoid, then hell yeah, go with it and absolutely focus on it. But I would always say, when it comes to shoulders in general, actually, because they are such a dick, just take care of them, right? These aren't, it's not a huge muscle group like your back or, your pectorals to a lesser degree, or your quads. My word, your quads. Going to do a video about legs this week or soon anyway. They are very, very, not small, but they're intricate, right? And they're annoying. And one thing goes wrong, the whole thing just falls down. So in a sense, yes, you probably are training your shoulders run because you'll just be going hell to leather. And everyone's doing front raises all the time. So that's all The Rock doing it on Instagram. You don't need to do front raises. You certainly can. And what I actually like to do is, I think I got this from Ryan Humiston. I swear it's from his workout. He's got this really cool workout. Let me see if I can remember it now. It's 3 exercises you do at one. And you do it with I like to do it with a 5 or maybe a 10 kilogram plate. So we're talking about light work here. But you do bus drivers. That's right. You do the bus drivers, blah, 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 blah. And then you press it, obviously, because that's going to get the movement. And then you finish not with front raises as you would, but you kind of grab the bottom of the weight and you push it up and you really squeeze. And of course it does hit the front delt, but I kind of feel like it flares out across the whole shoulder too. And because I'm doing it with a light weight, I never feel like my shoulder is about to implode. And as a man who has had his shoulder implode twice, I never want to do that again. So I do think this is an area we could be a bit more smart with, because again, a lot of the fitness advice we do get is just train really hard and just train intense. And you do have to do that. But once more, if it's going to take you out the game entirely, it definitely ain't worth it. Now, please do like the video, share the video and subscribe. Get the bell ding ding so that other videos are going live. There will be a video on the screen. Give it a click. You know the deal. Leave a comment too. Almost forgot to say it. Write whatever you want. Patreon.com/Simon316. Gym fails have been moved there temporarily as I try and sort out the channel after somebody flagged literally every single one. Grillofmine.com/Simon. Use code Simon if you want 10% off. And there's a bunch of good supplements on there that I do recommend, I suppose. And again, use that code to get some cash off. In Grade New Sets Power 13 Cookbook on Instagram and Twitter at Simon316. DMs are open if you want to send me something that we think we should talk about. On Cameo too, or I will be back soon. I've deactivated my account just for now, but I'll be back on this week, so don't worry about it. Simon.bigcartel.com for merch. But other than that, you take care of yourself. Smash the gym. See you soon.